It's officially summer in the flower farm. The dinner plate dahlias have started to bloom, the zinnias are going crazy, so it is time to give you guys a tour because it looks so beautiful. Welcome to Flower Heaven, also known as our flower farm. We grow flowers and veggies that we sell at our local farmers market. Our property is 2.5 acres. This year we're growing on about a half an acre, and we have about 7,000 square feet of just cut flowers, and they're all open, abundant, and beautiful. You guys are gonna love everything I'm showing. This year, new for us, we are growing glads. And you know, I'm not always convinced that glads are my favorite, so I had to buy some of the fanciest glads I could find, and I am not disappointed. The colors on these, they're incredible, and only 2 of our 5 colors have opened so far, and I cannot wait to see what other fun, exciting treats are gonna show up in this tiny little patch that is stuffed with about 200 glads. Our bread and butter in the summer cut flower garden is zinnias. And I feel at this point that I have found the best zinnias that there are. The main ones that we grow are the Benary's Giant, and we grow them all clustered by color to make it really easy for us to pick for selling. I also grow over on this side the Lime Queen series, and I grow every single color in that series. These make the base and the color and the excitement in almost every single one of our summer bouquets. It is incredible how, you know, even though they're all exactly the same flowers, even though they're all zinnias, when I combine these with different things, they look completely different. And I am beyond excited to get to come out here tomorrow and do my first pick and my first play of the year.
Snapdragon, how did you get in there?
The other big production flower that we grow is cosmos. These, I love these. These are rubenza, I'm pretty sure. But the main one I grow, which is all this, and it's not flowering, though next week, and this is all double click. Big, full, fluffy. These cosmos are incredible, and they produce and produce and produce. They get so crazy in the middle of in the height of summer. I have to come in here with a weed whacker, just hack them down to deadhead them. They grow back again. An amazing, amazing cut flower plant. I'll do this for you. One other flower that I couldn't live without is basil. Now you would think this is something we'd be growing down in our veggie farm, but it isn't. This is purely for cut flowers. This is the #1 filler that I use all summer long. We are growing a cinnamon type basil, so the smell on it, oh, I wish I could give you guys smell vision, because we love it. There's nothing I love more than coming in after working with the cut flowers and just having the smell of the basil all over me. And this deep, rich purple color, incredible.
I think the smell of the basil actually sells bouquets at the market. People sometimes pick them up and they get drawn in by the smell, right? And that's what entices them.
The other filler that we grow is a lemon basil, and exactly the same as the cinnamon basil, except for it has this citrusy, beautiful smell to it, and it's green. Between the two of these, I pretty much don't need any other greenery. I guess Another item that we love for the structural and color elements that it adds into the bouquets is this. This is celosia. They haven't put on their vivid neon yellow, neon orange, neon pink heads yet, but this, come August, we love it, and it dries really well. We also have a few experiments for this year. This is Sweet Annie. We do a lot of dried flowers here on the farm. Last year we did a big experiment with it and we had a lot of success, so I'm doubling down. Lots of dried flowers, and this is supposed to make a beautiful dried filler. It's very tall. It's like almost as tall as me. I didn't think it would do that, but oh, I'm tempted to cut it just for greenery because the greens on it, it's beautiful. It has a beautiful look, so I can't wait to see what the flowers look like. We're also doing some experiments with the giant African marigolds. You can see one of them that's starting to open up. I know some people don't like the scent of marigolds, but they have such a unique look that I'm excited to see if they will sell at the market. So I have this little patch here, something to play with. Worst case scenario, they're gonna be there for me in the fall. And I mean, I'm already in love. How can you not be in love with all this stuff? It's so beautiful. Last year, I lost my mind over Liatris. How could I not? It looks so incredible. And it's drought tolerant, it's a perennial, it comes back bigger and better every year. So I bought 1,000 of them. I mean, I'm still not convinced I have enough, but I am super happy to see them all blooming again. I love the purple. We also have some white, but I mean this purple. It's like, you know, it's so vibrant and so fun, and the spikes in the bouquets, they add such a special element, and I dry them.
Yeah, but don't do that face.
Don't do that face?
Don't do that.
Well, I should do that face because it smells so good. We have a couple hundred of these beautiful oriental lilies, and they've just started opening. I had no idea any of these were open. Ian, we've had these for a couple years, and the first year when they all opened up and bloomed, he couldn't even leave the house because he hated the smell of them so much, and it was the entire property just drenched in that beautiful lily smell. So I was told no more of those, but I'm holding on to these. So you're just gonna have to deal, Ian, because they smell great. Most of the flowers that we grow here on the farm are annuals. That means that I plant them, pick them, and then they're done. But this year we decided to really invest into perennials, and that is the garden that I'm standing in front of here. These are all flowers that are gonna come back year after year. and just keep blooming and bringing me joy again and again. This isn't.
Bo's catching grasshoppers.
This is a bed of perennial herbs. I have mints and oreganos, and I have some tarragons. This is all just green filler that is fragrant and beautiful and will be bigger and bigger as the years come. I'm only going to get a few picks this year, but years going forward, there's going to be abundance of greenery for me in here. This is my bed of sedums, and sedums are a strange one for people to invest into because they do a flower, but it's not super showy and it kind of doesn't really open up until fall. I have an entire bed of sedums and I am beyond excited to have it because we are in Canada. We are in a zone 5. We usually get our first frost of the year in mid-October, but I would still like to sell flowers after that frost. And sedums have a flower that will be able to survive all of the frosts that we get in the fall. At any point, I can come out here and I can pick this entire bed and have them when I maybe don't have anything else on the farm. So the value that these provide is infinite for me.
Do you think you have enough yarrow there, Serina?
I'm pretty sure if I had every single piece of yarrow in the world, I still wouldn't have enough yarrow. I have 2 full beds of yarrow, and I have a whole mix of colors. I've picked out this section. These were some of the first to bloom, but red and orange and yellow, the classic whites, and then this is a mix of beautiful pastels, pinks and peaches and creamy buttery yellows. And I love this stuff. It's drought tolerant, it dries, it's so abundant. It produces so much, and it's such a unique and classic look. Another new experiment this year is these. These are a perennial sunflower. And so I'm still not exactly sure how they do as a cut flower. I've been playing with them and they're doing pretty good so far, but these are incredible looking and I never expected them to get so tall. They were sold as, a bedding plant. They're only supposed to get to be about 2 feet tall, but oh my God, the frills and the fluffiness. It's called Sunny Days, and they make my days sunny every time I look at them. Excited about this? We also have a little patch of these double Shasta daisies. So pretty, so classic, and they work really well as cut flowers.
These are my favorite new addition to the farm this year. They're called Echinopsis, and just like look at that cool shape and the color. It looks like a 3D animation or something like that of like an explosion. There's so much vibrance and movement in there.
Oh, Serina, what's this giant grass here? Is this a decorative grass of some sort?
This is called waste not, want not. We're all about using what we got. And these, I've been very intentional. This has not been weeded for a reason.
This year we don't just have the main flower farm area. All the way down at the bottom of the farm there, we have a whole other big section of flowers. So let's go check that out.
This is just the beginning.
First we have to go by our apricot trees. And as is tradition, I will eat 2 more apricots today.
Like get them and like jam them or something.
Serina eats floor apricots. I prefer fresh picked, because I'm a fancy guy. Wait a second, what did we forget?
Dahlias? How could we forget dahlias? I need to be honest with you guys. I know that this is gonna make a lot of you upset, so I hope you can forgive me for this, but I'm not obsessed with dahlias. It's true. They just haven't won me over in the same way that the zinnias have. They are just so fussy. But I don't know, guys. The ones I'm growing this year, maybe they're gonna convince me. Here we are experimenting with doing these smaller ball and decorative dahlias. And the colors, the abundance that they're producing, and they are having excellent vase life. Dahlias don't always make it onto my #1 most favorite list, because they're just really difficult to work with. I love those dinner plate dahlias, these here that I was playing with at the beginning of the video, but what do you do with them? They're so big. But these smaller ones, the color range and the amount of stems that are on them, I don't know, guys. I might be converted. One thing I do not need to be converted to is amaranth obsession. It is probably my favorite flower, which I'm sure is super weird for people. So this year I planted thousands of them. This is like rows and rows of the tightest planted amaranth you've ever seen in your life. And I don't know if it's gonna work out, but if it does, I'm gonna be so happy to just have armfuls and buckets full of this stuff to play with.
I had to make Serena take the camera so I could open up my apricots.
I have so many flowers this year that I actually ran out of places to plant flowers. So behind me, this is a whole section inside of our main farm where I have a half bed of Rubecchia and a half bed of larkspur. We have 50-foot rows, so that means I have 25 feet of just packed Rubecchia and like 1,000 larkspur, and they're all blooming right now. You know, the truth is I'm growing way more than I need, but if all I do with it is just get to stare at the beauty, it's money well spent. This is an entire new part of our farm that we developed this year. Last year, weeds, rocks, weed trees, there was nothing good down here. We opened it up, we made this whole new area, and pretty much as soon as we were done, I filled it with flowers. And there is some incredible looking flowers in there right now. We're doing a big experiment on sunflowers this year. Behind me, I probably have 2,000 or 3,000 different sunflowers, and we're doing some of the super fancy, super beautiful florist style sunflowers. You know, stuff that are the pro cuts. We did an entire video actually about all these special sunflowers that we ordered to try out. And so far, every single time one of them opens, I'm amazed at how perfect and beautiful they are. I know I have a lot, but I'm happy I have this many. No big deal, just a couple thousand more amaranth. You know, you can never have enough amaranth. I had so much success last year with dried flowers, and I wasn't really growing anything that's specifically a dried flower. So that meant this year I had to go for those. This is Statice. These dry amazingly, as well as being incredibly beautiful fresh. So I have this whole little patch of them, and they are gonna be so much fun to play with both in the summer and come this winter when I have them dried. And we also had to do a big patch of strawflowers because, you know, how classic. These, I love them. The sound that they make, this like crazy paper sound they do when you touch them, and they keep super well if you have them fresh too. So I have a mix of different colors. I have white, I have apricot, I have a blend, and I can't wait. These have only just started. They're gonna produce buckets for me. The zinnias in our main farm are for picking and then doing arrangements. That's the reason why we have them all planted in a color block, so it's easy to work with them. This is a patch that is mixed zinnias, because obviously I need more zinnias, I need all the zinnias. And this mixed patch, we're just gonna come in here, we're gonna pick them quick, and we're gonna do something called market bunches. Just gonna be 10 zinnias clumped together, super fast and easy for us to get, and then it's gonna be an item that's still gorgeous, but a little bit of a lower price point than our bouquets. So the fact that these are producing already, these were planted a little bit later than my other zinnias. So I'm in heaven, guys. I am in flower heaven. And then the last thing that we have down here in our new flower section is snapdragons. I love snapdragons, so I have a bed and a half of these. And I'm sitting here with my absolute favorite. This is one of the few snapdragons that I actually grow color specific. This is bronze, the color, and then rocket, the specific snapdragon. But the color on these, you guys, the way it's this like pink that blends to orange and yellow, there's nothing like it. They blow my mind. So I'm super happy to see them opening up and just, you know, basically have a field of them. It's so beautiful. Well, that's pretty much the end of the flower farm tour, but it is definitely not the end of the story of these flowers. Now that they're opening up, they're available for me to be harvesting for us to bring down to our market, which is what we show almost every week. So I am super excited to get to play with these, to get to bunch these together. It was fun to show them to you, but it's going to be even more fun to get them ready and to sell them.
Sexual.